Even if I don't, I always like to be challenged anyway. I think that's part of being Jewish.
We open up with the floor to discussion.
Yeah.
But of course,
I pretty much agree with that.
We feel we're right.
By the way.
But
Hi. Adam Tax in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Paul Singer from Philadelphia, and we're here. We've driven 20-some hours to come and meet Rabbi Meza. We saw his YouTube videos. I Googled him about 2 or 3 months ago. I was looking up conversions to Judaism. I saw some of his videos online. They sparked my interest. I followed up with a phone call after I watched about 10, maybe 15 videos. And he had a lot, his ideology and what he was saying in his videos was something that I've been seeking for a very long time. A lot of his political points and his viewpoints. And then when I talked to him and he told me that he had actually done some work with Alan Estrin and Dennis Prager, really sparked my curiosity further. I said, my God, this guy's talking about proselytizing and really bringing people to Judaism and Torah-based morality that I haven't heard anybody talk about ever in my life. 49 years, something that I've thirsted for, something that I've struggled with, being that I'm not matriarchal, maternally Jewish, and only paternally Jewish. Issues that I struggle with Jewish friends of mine, that if God forbid there was a problem or another Holocaust, they'd have no problem with me fighting in a partisan army and resisting, but they have a problem with me, worshiping side by side in their synagogue. If you can imagine something so ridiculous and insane. So, having thought about all these things my whole life, I was very attracted to Dennis Prager, where I really believed that he was thought that he was following a movement of something that is, but even though I had followed his Bible study and his CD courses, never really saw anybody following that up to the next level. Taking it from just the principles and the basics to actually putting the street movement together of going out in the street and aggressively trying to convert people that were thirsting for morality.
Hazak Baruch. Be strengthened and blessed. That's great.
This is what we're struggling with in our society. We have a society void of morality, and where can this morality come from? Can it just come from the sky? There's probably some people, a small percentage of people, that actually, from their own philosophical and moral convictions, can live a decent life. Sadly, I'm probably not one of those people.
Most people probably.
Probably not. Maybe that's 5-10%. What about the other 90%? What about the other, let's say or 80%? How are they going to be guided? And if they're going to be, if the only choice for them to receive the Torah is through Christianity that's saying, hey, this testament is not complete testament. There's additional testament, and the additional testament seems so, from my standpoint, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, easily debunked. Because if this messianic period has already come, and if this Messiah has already come, then why are we living in such turmoil? Why is it modern society in such struggle? Why are people so void and empty? So I find it hard to believe. And if this Messiah and this Mashiach hasn't come, and if we go to Chabad where they're saying, hey, it's only going to take this midget standing on the shoulders of the giant, but the midget's on top of the midget, on top of the giant. And I think they're missing something. So you're telling me that 1% of the total world global population is going to be silent about the secret that they have and the mission that they have, and somehow they're going to impact and help people. How is that possible? When they're not carrying this, as Dennis Prager said, if the mission is to carry the Bible and the Torah to the world, then we're failing at the mission, or that those halachic Jewish are failing at the mission. And I firmly believe, like if we even look into military and everything and the history, it probably will be converts to Judaism, partially Jewish people that probably will be the ones who will push this over the goal line. Because if I'm matriarchally Jewish, if my mother is Jewish, and if I have, then what would be my motivation to bring this? And I don't find it a surprise that both of you converted, in essence, to Judaism, because I believe that when someone converts to something, there's a certain intrinsic nature of them that's even stronger. The desire is stronger. It's like the reformed smoker. Do you know what I mean? The person who never smoked is never offended by smoke. Doesn't really issue. But the reformed smoker has a certain stronger and deeper motivation. You know what I mean? And can go. And who will go and face the ridicule of standing on a street corner or going to somebody and trying to really bring it to them? It takes a special soul. If a person knows in his innermost heart, hey, I'm Jewish, my mother's Jewish, they're not going to be out.
Yeah, you can just put on the tefillin, and Chabad will be right there. So when you go to an Eagles game, you can put on some tefillin right there.
Correct.
And God bless Chabad for doing that. I think that's great.
I have all the respect in the world.
But I'm saying it's pretty. Well, yeah, but you're not really doing much. And let me tell you something about Philadelphia. A lot of it is social. The social life ain't that great. I compare it often to what was it like. Being an American was a lot more fun, a lot more classy when my father was young. American society wasn't deteriorating in the 1950s, 1960s the way it is now. So you were giving up more to lead an observant life, which weren't, and of course that wasn't very developed. There weren't as many Orthodox institutions then. But, today you're not giving up that much. You're just giving up like a very pornographic society for something that, and Orthodox Judaism has grown. There wasn't Chabad. You can have a nice meal. You can be with a lot of friends. You don't even have to talk about Judaism at the dinner, except pay attention when the person who's feeding you is talking for 5 minutes.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Yael, she's here for Hebrew lesson.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?